Mr. President, you're welcome to address members of the House of Commons and the Lords. You now have the floor. President.
Пане спікер, пане прем'єр-міністре, члени уряду,
Mr. Speaker, Mr.
парламенту, лорди,
all the
леді
members of
та
Parliament,
джентльмени.
ladies and gentlemen.
Я звертаюся до усіх людей Сполученого Королівства,
I'm addressing all the people of the United
до усіх
Kingdom
людей Великої Британії,
and
великого
all the people
народу з великою історією.
from the country with a big history.
Я звертаюся до вас як громадянин, як президент,
I'm addressing you as a
але
citizen, as a
теж
president
великої країни.
of also a
З
big
великою
country
мрією
with a dream
і великою боротьбою.
and big effort.
Я хочу розказати вам про наші 13
I
днів.
would like to tell you
13
about
днів
the
війни,
3 days of about the 13 days of
міцної
war,
війни, яку ми не розпочинали
the war that
і
we
не
didn't start
хотіли.
and we didn't
Але
want it.
ведемо.
However,
Тому
we have
що
to conduct this war.
Не хочемо втратити те,
We
що в
do
нас
not
є, те, що
want to
наше.
lose what we have,
Україну,
what is
так
ours,
само,
our
як
country,
ви
Ukraine.
не хотіли втратити свій
Just
постріл,
the same way
коли
as
нацисти
you
готувалися
once
розпочати
didn't
битву
want to lose your country when
за вашу
Nazis
велику державу,
started
битву за
to
Британію.
fight your country.
13
And
днів
you had
нашого
to fight for
захисту.
Britain. 13 days of this
Перший
struggle.
день, о 4 ранку, на нас полетіли
On
крилаті
day 1 at 4
ракети.
o'clock in the morning,
Так,
we were attacked
що
by cruise missiles.
Всі прокинулись. Ми, діти,
Everybody woke up.
всі ми, живі люди,
People,
вся
children,
Україна. І відтоді
the
не
entire
спить.
Ukraine, and
Ми
since
всі
that we have not been
стали до
sleeping.
зброї,
We have all
ставши
been
великою
fighting
армією.
for our
На другий
country
день
with our army.
відбивалась від атак у повітрі,
On
на
day
суші, на
2,
морі. І
we
наші
have
героїчні
been fighting
прикордонники на
airstrikes,
острові
and
Зміїний
our
у Чорному
heroic,
морі
military
розповіли всім
servicemen on
про
the
фінал
island
війни,
Zmíny
а
have been
саме,
trying to
куди
fight.
зрештою відправиться ворог. Коли російський корабль
When
вимагав
Russian
від наших хлопців
flag,
скласти зброю, вони
when
відповіли
Russian forces
йому
demanded that we lay
так
down the
міцно,
arms,
як не можна казати в парламенті.
we did continue fighting,
І ми відчули силу.
and we
Велику
did
силу нашого
feel
народу, який до
our
кінця
force.
гнатиме окупанта.
The force of our
На третій день
people
російські
that
війська, не буваючись, били по
oppose their
просто
occupants
по людям, по
until
житловим
then.
будинках, артилерією,
The next day,
авіабомбами.
the
І це
artillery started
остаточно
fighting.
показало нам, показало світу, хто є хто. Хто великі люди, а хто просто звірі.
Who we are, and
На четвертий,
we have been
коли
able to see
полонених
who are people and who
ми
are
вже
beasts.
почали брати десятками.
On day 4,
Ми не
we
втратили
started
гідність і не знущались над
people
ними.
captive.
Ми ставимось до них як
have
до
not been
людей,
torturing
бо
them.
ми лишились людьми на четвертий
remained
день
humane
цієї ганебної
Even
війни.
on day 4 of this
На п'ятий
terrible
день
war.
терор проти
On
нас
day
вже був
5,
відвертим.
the terror against
Проти
us
міст, проти маленьких містечок, зруйновані
on
райони, бомби,
against children,
бомби,
against cities,
бомби знов,
and
бомби на
constant
будинки,
shelling
на
have
школи,
been taking
на лікарні.
place,
І це
around
геноцид,
the country, including
який не
hospitals.
зламав нас, мобілізував
that
нас,
didn't
кожного з
break
нас
us.
і кожну. І дав нам відчуття
And that gave us feeling
великої правди.
of big
На
truth.
шостий день
On day 6,
російські ракети упали на Бабин Яр. Це
The
місце,
Russian
де нацисти стратили
rockets
100
fell
тисяч
on
людей
Babin Yar. That is the place
у
where
роки
the
Другої
Nazis
світової війни. Через
killed
80 років
thousands of
по тому
people
Росія
during the
вбила
Second World
їх
War.
вдруге.
And
На
80
сьомий день
years after,
ми зрозуміли,
the
що
Russia
вони
hit at them for the
руйнують
second
навіть
time.
церкви бомбами,
even,
знов ракетами.
churches
Вони
are getting
не знають
destroyed
святого і великого,
by
як знаємо
shelling.
Ми на 8-й день світ побачив,
On day
що з
8,
російських танків стріляють
we
по
have seen
атомній
Russian tanks
електростанції,
hitting
найбільшій
the
в Європі. І
atomic
світ
power
почав
station.
розуміти, що це
And
терор проти
everybody
всіх.
got to understand
Це
that
великий терор.
this is the terror
На
against
9-й ми слухали
everyone.
зустріч країн НАТО.
On day 9,
без
there was a meeting of NATO
Бажаного для
members.
нас результату,
Without
без
the,
мужності.
result that
Так,
we
ми
were looking
відчули
for.
це. Я не
Yes,
хочу
we
нікого
did feel
образити. Ми це відчули, що альянси
We did
не
feel
діють. Навіть небо
that,
закрити не можуть.
We
І
did
тому
feel that
гарантії
unfortunately
безпеки в
that
Європі
the
треба
alliances
будувати з нуля.
don't work
На
properly
10-й день
always.
беззбройні українці в
And
окупованих
the
містах
no-fly zone cannot be enforced. And on
Протестували
day 10,
повсюдно,
the Ukrainians started
масово.
protesting
Зупиняючи бронетехніку
mass,
голіруч, ми стали
stopping
незламними.
the
На 11-й день, коли
armored
бомбили вже
vehicles with their
житлові
own
райони,
hands.
коли від вибухів
And on
усе
day
руйнувалось,
11,
коли евакуювали дітей
the
пошкодженою
children and cities
онколікарні,
were being hit
дитячою
and hospitals as
онколікарні.
well with the rockets
Ми
and
усвідомили.
constant shelling.
Українці стали героями.
And
Сотні-
on that day we realized
сотні
that
тисяч людей,
Ukrainians
цілі
became
міста,
heroes. The
цілі міста,
entire
діти, дорослі,
cities,
всі.
children,
На 12-й,
adults.
коли втрати
And on
російської
day
армії
12,
вже перевищили
the
10
losses
тисяч
of
убитих,
Russian army exceeded 10,000.
у цьому рахунку з'явився і
killed.
генерал. І це дало нам впевненість за усі
And
злочини,
also
за
including
усі
the
ганебні
general,
накази
and that
буде.
gave us hope
Все ж таки буде відповідальність
that
Міжнародного
there will
суду
be some
або
kind of
української зброї.
responsibility for those people
На 13-й день
of
у
in front of the
блокованому
court.
російськими
On day
військами
13,
Маріуполі померла дитина
in the
від
city of Mariupol
зневоднення.
that was attacked by the Russian force, a
Від
child
зневоднення.
was killed.
Вони не пускають ні харчові продукти,
Do
ні
not
воду, не
allow
дають людям.
any food,
Просто
any
заблокували.
water,
І вони
and
в
people started
підвалах.
panicking.
Я думаю, всі чують.
I
Там у
I
людей
think
немає
everybody
води. За 13
can
днів
hear that
російського вторгнення було вбито 50 дітей.
people do not have water over there.
50
Over 13 days
великих
of
мучеників.
this situation,
Це страшно.
over 50
Пустота.
children
Замість
have been
50
killed.
всесвітів, які могли би жити,
These are the children that could have lived,
а вони їх зібрали.
but these
Просто
people
забрали.
have taken them away from us.
Велика Британія.
The United Kingdom,
Україна не прагнула цього,
Ukraine were not
не
looking
шукала
to have this for.
величі, але стала великою
The
за ці
Ukraine
дні
have not been looking to become
цієї війни.
big, but they have become
України,
big over
яка рятує
the
людей
days
попри
of this war.
терор окупантів, яка
We are
захищає
the
свободу
country that
попри
are saving
удари
people despite,
однієї з найбільших армій світу, яка обороняється попри
Despite
відкрите
having to
небо,
fight
все ще
one of the biggest
відкрите,
country, one of the
все
biggest armies
ще
in the world,
для російських ракет, літаків, гвинтокрилів.
we have to fight
Бути
the helicopters,
чи не бути?
rockets.
Ви добре знаєте, це шекспірівське
The question
питання.
for us now is to be or not to
13
be.
днів
Oh no,
тому
this
це питання
Shakespearean.
ще могло прозвучати про
question.
Україну.
For
Але
13
зараз
days, this
вже
question
ні. Очевидно, що
could have been
бути.
asked. But
Очевидно,
now
що
I can give you a
бути
definitive
вільним
answer. It's
іде,
definitely
як
yes
не
to
тут
be.
нагадати вам слова, які
And I would like
Великобританія
to
вже
remind
чула,
you the
і
words that
які
the United
знову
Kingdom have already heard,
актуальні.
which are important
Ми
again.
не здамося
We
і не
will
програємо.
not give up and
Ми
we
підемо
will
до
not
кінця,
lose.
ми будемо
We
боротися на
will
морях,
fight
будемо
till the
битися в
end
повітрі,
at sea,
ми будемо
in
захищати
the
нашу
air.
землю,
We will continue
якою
fighting
не
for
була
our
ціна.
land, whatever the
Ми
cost.
будемо битися в лісах, в
We will
полях,
fight in the
на
forests, in the
узбережжях, у містах і
fields,
селах, на вулицях, ми
on the
будемо
shores,
битися на
in the
пагорбах.
streets.
Я хочу від себе додати, ми будемо битися
I would
всюди,
like
на
to
териконах,
add
на березі Кальміуса і Дніпра,
that we
і
will
ми не
fight
здамося
on the
Звичайно,
banks of different rivers
вашою
like Dnieper.
допомогою,
And
допомогою цивілізації,
we are looking
цивілізації великих
for your
країн,
help,
з підтримкою
for the help of the
вашою, за
civilized
яку ми вдячні,
countries.
і на яку
We are
ми
thankful for this
дуже
help.
розраховуємо.
And we,
І я окремо тобі вдячний, Борисе, мій
and
друже.
I'm very grateful to you, Boris.
Посилюйте санкції проти
Please
держави
increase the
терориста.
pressure of sanctions
Визнайте її
against
нарешті
this
державою терористом.
country.
Знайдіть
And please
спосіб зробити
recognize this
безпечним
country as a
наше
terrorist
українське
state.
небо.
And
Зробіть
please
те, що
make sure
ви
that our
можете,
Ukrainian
те,
skies
що
are
ви
safe.
повинні.
please
до
make sure
чого зобов'язує
that
велич
you do what needs to be
вашої
done
держави і
and
вашого народу.
what is stipulated by the
Слава
greatness of your country.
великій Україні, слава Великій Британії.
Best of all
Дякую.
to Ukraine and to the United Kingdom.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the House of Commons, I want to thank you for speaking to us and for giving us very clearly and powerful perspective of the tragic situation facing you and fellow Ukrainians. We have debated the situation in Ukraine numerous times in recent weeks, and I know that we will continue to do so, and that when we do so, your words will be resonating with us. I want to express the solidarity of the House of Commons with you, your compatriots, and we salute the courage of the people of Ukraine. Thank you, and our prayers are with you.
Mr. Speaker.
Just one minute. We will now resume with the formal sittings of the House. Order, order. I will take the points of order from the leaders of the main parties before we return to the opposition day. I call the Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A point of order, with your permission, Mr. Speaker. May I say that never before in all our centuries of our parliamentary democracy has the House listened to such an address. In a great European capital, now within range of Russian guns, President Volodymyr Zelensky is standing firm for democracy and for freedom. In his righteous defence, I believe he has moved the hearts of everybody in this House. At this moment, ordinary Ukrainians are defending their homes and their families against a brutal assault. And they are, by their actions, inspiring millions by their courage and their devotion. And I think today, one of the proudest boasts in the free world is Ya Ukrainets. I am a Ukrainian. So this is a moment for us to put our political differences aside, Mr. Speaker, and I know I speak for the whole House when I say that Britain and our allies are determined to press on with supplying our Ukrainian friends with the weapons they need to defend their homeland as they deserve. To press on with tightening the economic vice around Vladimir Putin, and we will stop importing Russian oil, Mr. Speaker, and my right honourable friend, the Business Secretary, will update the House on that tomorrow. And we will employ every method that we can, diplomatic, humanitarian and economic, Mr. Speaker, until Vladimir Putin has failed in this disastrous venture and Ukraine is free once more.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, every one of us has been moved by the bravery, the resolve and the leadership of President Zelensky. Invading troops march through his streets, shells rain down on his people, and assassins seek his life. No one would have blamed him for fleeing, but instead he has stayed in Kyiv to lead the Ukrainian people and to fight. He's reminded us that our freedom and our democracy are invaluable. He's prompted the world into action where too often we've let Putin have his way. He's inspired the Ukrainian people to resist and frustrated the Russian war machine. He has shown his strength, and we must show him and the Ukrainian people our commitment and our support. Labour stands for the unity at home and abroad that will isolate the Putin regime. Labour stands for the toughest sanctions that will cripple the Russian state. Labour stands for providing Ukraine with the arms it needs to fight off their invaders. Labour stands with President Zelensky, with Ukraine, with democracy. Slava Ukraini. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Leader of the SNP, Ian Blackford.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With your forbearance, if I can make a point of order. President Zelensky, we salute you. We stand with the people of Ukraine on the basis of the act of aggression, on the act of war of Putin. We must do all that we can to send support to Ukraine, to send the weapons that they need to defend themselves, to make sure that we sanction the regime in Moscow, that we deliver the clearest message to President Putin, that this will end in failure for him, that he will face justice at the International Court. We must stand in this House, throughout these islands, throughout the Western world, in defence of democracy, in defence of sovereignty. Peace, justice and the sovereignty of Ukraine must prevail. Let's make sure that we stand with our friends. We stand against those that have been bombed. We make sure that those that need our support, that need our sanctuary, will find a welcoming hand in these islands. Mr. President, we thank you. We salute you. Slavia Ukraine.
David.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Hearing the words of President Zelensky should embolden us all. They serve as a reminder of all that we stand for, of all which so many Ukrainians are so bravely fighting for, a bravery exemplified by President Zelensky himself. That we should never take for granted our values of democracy, of freedom and of our security. And though we in this House may disagree on many things, we stand together for those values, and together we stand together with the Ukrainian people. Mr. Speaker, it is right that we strengthen our support for Ukraine with military aid, with toughest of sanctions. And it's in that support that we should also recognise the people of Ukraine and indeed President Zelensky. I'm sure the whole House would agree that President Zelensky should be granted one of our nation's highest honours, an honorary knighthood. And I look forward to the day when we welcome back to this House President Zelensky in person.
Sir Geoffrey Donaldson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On a point of order, we commend President Zelensky and the people of Ukraine, and we stand with them in this their time of strife. But our response will not be judged by the volume or strength of our applause for President Zelensky. It will be judged by the volume and strength of our response to his requests for help, for practical military support and for humanitarian assistance for the people of Ukraine. We pray for their success. We dare not let them down.
Can I also like to thank the staff and the contractors for making this happen? And when you leave the chamber, can you please hand in your headsets on the way out? Who you got them from? I will now let the chamber clear. Thank you, everybody.